Picture this, a recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 2nd of September, and I hope you're all doing very well. I can't believe we're in September already. I mean, where's that gone? School's going back now, and that 6-week school holiday just seems to have disappeared. Hope you've all been very well during the time, and it's good to be back again in the studio doing a new game for you. Yes, it's Genesis, or not Genesis, Nemesis. You see, I knew it was one of them, and rolling the name Gradius in at the same time kind of came with Genesis. Yeah, no, it's Nemesis or Gradius. Whichever part of the world you're from, it will probably be one of those. By Konami, of course. The kings of the shoot-em-ups at the time. Which, yes, very good games. Salamander, also one of theirs, which was... I can't remember if Salamander was a prequel or a sequel to this. But it was sort of in the same genre anyway. Now, the one thing I will tell you is this game is rock bloody hard. Yes, it is. I mean, it would probably be easier to nail diarrhea to the wall than to actually complete this. But there we are. But we're going to look at it. It's on the MSX, which is a system that I plan on doing a lot more with over the coming weeks, months, whatever. We are now pushing through the 500 video barrier. 501, so now we're racing our way to the 600 mark. And that's quite remarkable, really. I didn't think I'd done so many, but there we are. Anyway, yeah, the MSX. It's a bit of an underrated system, really. It's a lovely little machine, actually. And this is a home port of the game, which was released in arcades, by the way. And it's done a bloody good job. I seem to remember playing this on the Spectrum and not being overly enthusiastic about it, but, well, you know, I might have to revisit some of these things and see if my memory's as good as I remember it being, and see if the games are as shockingly bad, or as good as I remember them being when I played them as a wee nipper. Yeah, so, let's have a look at the graphics first, because that's always a good place to start. So, there's no UI to speak of. There is the bottom panel, which I will go through now. Right, so basically at the start of the level, you saw me shoot those little things, and they drop these little red things, and those little red things, not that red thing, that's me exploding, but the little red things will give you, like, a power-up option, which is nice, and you have options between, well, we start off with speed up, then we've got missiles, then there is double shot, laser, and then option, which option is basically a little thing that follows you around and mimics your firing capability, which is nice. And yeah, that's what that's for. You've got your high score and your player score underneath, and your lives in the bottom left corner. So easily read screen, which is what I like. Oh, the blue ones, by the way, you get blue ones of those. So you've got red ones, which is that one, and you also get some blue ones as well. Now the blue ones will detonate everything on the screen at once. It's always tempting sometimes to go for those, but you can guarantee that if you try and backtrack and pick something up, something will blat you from the side of the screen that you couldn't see coming. Trust me on this, I've played this game back in the past on the NES as well, and I can tell you now that it does happen. And also you do tend to get swamped by a lot of firepower going across the screen. However, this is actually a really nice conversion, and I'm quite impressed with it. Yes, there's a little bit of a frame rate issue, but it's not a massive one, and you've got to think back that, you know, this machine wasn't amazingly capable. It's sort of along the same lines as the C64 and the Spectrum, but at the same time, it's done a damn good job of this. Other games from the arcades that were on here was Bubble Bobble and Pac-Mania as well, which I would love to have a look at those in the future, so perhaps an MSX week would be on the cards. What do you guys think of that? Would you like to see an MSX profile week? Because I am quite happy to do that. And look at some of the new titles that have been released as well. There's been a few over the last year, 2 years. And, oh well, that was bound to happen, wasn't it? Yeah, so let me know what you think of an MSX week. And I will crack on. But until then, you know, it'll just be randomised. So let's have a look at the control system. Really, really nice. Works incredibly well and is very, very reactive to it as well. So no input lag, and it's quite surprising because the game itself looks a bit juddery, but it's really not. Really didn't mean to do that. I was shooting then, but I seemed to just go face first into it. Anyway, that's the spaceship equivalent of a facepalm. So yes, controls, that's right. So yeah, so it's left and right, up and down, and that controls your ship. Then you've got fire button, and you also have your select button, which is button 2. The control pad is so simple for the MSX, lovely, absolutely lovely. And you can, so basically once you've collected your little power-up things, you press the B button, and that will activate what you have. How the hell did I die there? Never mind. Anyway, I'm not going to use continues, no point. I'm just going to start again, so just bear with. I'm going to try and get as far as I can in the time that we've got. And the other button, by the way, is your fire button. So very simple setup, and everything is at your fingertips. You haven't got to worry about keyboard or anything like that, which is great. So far, I'm actually really impressed with this. It's a lovely game, and it's actually quite nice with the arcade. It's very... I mean, like what I'm trying to say is that if you like arcade games, then you're going to like this because it's going to emulate the arcade in your home. You know, this is what we always wanted when we were little, and playing these games is a game in the arcades is something that we always wanted at home. Didn't always happen that way. You know, I think back when you're younger, you tend to believe that every single game you see in the arcades is going to be available at home. And I was quite surprised. I think the one that surprised me the most was walking into Boots one day, and they had New Zealand Story, which I had previously played on the arcade at Western-super-Mare. Pleasure Beach! Up on the... I say Pleasure Beach, it's more of a mud pit. But yes, they've got a grand pier. That's probably how much they charge you to go on it these days. Yeah, it used to have a massive arcade at the end, and many a time played there with Pac-Land and Outrun and other such games, of course. And I always looked out for them, and 9 times out of 10 we found the ones we were looking for. There were some that didn't get released, which is a shame, but there we go. But that you know, that's just a way that our young brains work, that every game we saw in the arcade was going to get a conversion. This was one of those lucky contenders that got a release. And yeah, I think that you know, be close enough to the arcade for you not to worry about. If you had an MSX, I think you'd be quite happy with this. And the other thing is that I like is it's got 2-player option. It's not simultaneous, but you can... I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it shares lives. So, like I've said previously, lose a life, swap the controller. This game kind of puts it there for you, which is a nice little touch, I find. Sound-wise, it's really nice. It's got the original soundtrack in there, which is always a good thing. And then it's got your nice gunshots and all the other kind of sound effects as well. Can't complain at all. Now that section there, you if you haven't got missiles, you're going to be a little bit buggered, because as you just saw... Oh, so that wasn't the boss. Okay. Of course, that was going to that was going to happen straight away as I got some power-ups and stuff. Now I'm back to single shot. Now, later games actually were a little bit easier on you when you lost lives. You kind of went backwards on your upgrades rather than lose them all completely. But, you know, we're in the hardcore era of gaming here, where it punishes you for losing lives, and it's not ashamed to do it. It absolutely strips you bare of anything that was useful. But, you know, for the hardcore gamers out there, that's going to present a challenge. Now, if I'm correct in thinking, the MSX version actually has a bonus level to this that wasn't in the arcades. So, the chances of me getting there are pretty much zero, but, you know, that's that. I am loving this game, by the way, ladies and gents. I would thoroughly recommend that you give it a go if you've got an MSX or an MSX emulator that you can load up on your PC or Mac and have a go. If you've never played Gradius before, by the way, then obviously the arcade version would be the way to go. This also got released on the PlayStation 4, believe it or not. Got released on all home systems, which was great. So obviously your 16-bit machines are going to be totally up there in the arcade quality. This is actually very good. If you consider the capabilities of the MSX, you're looking at an arcade conversion that is sweet as a nut. So yes, I hope you enjoy the game anyway. So yeah, I mean, the way you defeat this boss, by the way, is you need to shoot in the centre, and you can see those little lines in the middle. I think they should start going down. There you go, I've just managed to take one away. That's how you defeat the boss, and then you get to the middle, and then he explodes, and boom, we're on to the next stage, which I have never done before. Yes, I was really that bad at this, and this is complete fluke. But there you are. At least I've been able to show you a boss. That's quite nice, isn't it? But yeah, just give it a go. Especially if you're an arcade conversion fanatic and you want to have a look for yourselves. I'm not providing any links because that's naughty. But you can find it if you want it. You know where to look. Google! Oh, sorry about that. A bit of a cough. But yeah. MSX. Very nice little machine. Like I said, underrated. It needs more exposure. And I'm going to give it that. I'm just going to give it some exposure. This level's quite funky, isn't it? So yeah, now you've got the removable blocks that you can shoot away, and actually, what a cool looking level. I like this already. I've got a feeling it's going to be rock hard, but oh, there you go, me not concentrating. But oh well, never mind. Anyway, guys, it's great to have you along on the channel. Really, really pleased to see the numbers going up. Thank you ever so much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy my content. Go through my library. I have quite an extensive range of different reviews, and I'm sure that there'll be something there for everybody. If you're new to the retro gaming community, welcome to the best side of gaming life. And if you are if you're already an old school gamer like myself, well, you're just awesome anyway, aren't you? So yes, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to give you a few more minutes of this footage and see how far I can get on this level. Which probably ain't going to be very far, but there you go. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review. This has been Nemesis, or I forgot the name now. Oh no, Gradius. Sorry, I've had Darius in my mind for some reason, which I think was a sequel. So we'll have one more go, and then we will call it a day. But that has been an absolute pleasure to bring to you today, and I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you want to leave me a comment in the comment section, that'd be great, and I'll get back to you, because I love reading your comments. And if you've got any trivia about the games that you see on the channel, please put them in the comments as well. You know, my knowledge of games is, I think, relatively okay, but there are things that you guys bring to the table which I didn't know. So it's nice because we're educating each other, and that is what it's all about. So I hope you're having a great, great day, and the weekend is looming, and it won't be too far off. So look forward to that, and I'll look forward to hearing from you in the comments. And yeah, well, until next time, folks, you keep it retro, and I'll be back very soon with a brand new review. And as always, from me, it's bye for now. Ta-da!
Incoming transmission.